Hello. You guys, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Thumbs up? Okay. Thank y'all for hanging in there. Hey guys. I think I am recording this as actually right now. A little bit of a miscommunication. I just logged on as Kelly Wenzel. So if you see the name at the bottom of the screen, I am not Kelly Wenzel. But I have logged in as Kelly Wenzel. So we're waiting on a couple of the other computers. Pardon me while I'm on my computer checking in. I'm glad you guys are here. There's some background noise. I'm going to mute everybody. And I don't want to mute how do I mute people? Hello, someone's calling in. What that? I don't know what I just did in. I don't know how to mute all. How are you guys? How's everyone? Oh, well, y'all just mute yourselves. Hold on. Who's just called in? Who joined us by phone?
Hey, it's Ashley.
Hey,
from Tennessee.
Hi. I was looking at. Okay, sorry. All right, I was trying to find a way to mute people, but I am not seeing where I can mute everybody. So if you are on your phone, hit the mute button. That way we don't have background noise. I'm trying to find out where I can. I just muted myself. I don't want to mute myself. Molly just hopped on.
Hey.
Stop laughing, Kristen.
Hey guys.
Chrissy is driving. Hey, Chrissy.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you mute yourself?
Let me see if I can figure it out.
Okay. She's driving like back from I don't even know where. Wait, Chrissy, I can mute you. Hold on. No, don't worry about it. Chrissy, I'll mute you. You're driving. Okay, I muted you, Chrissy. You're good. All right, is everyone else here? Okay. I think, let me change my view so I can see you guys. Yay! And then you guys can just kind of get started. We can get started. Okay, so I think Liz is actually going to be directing this call, but she's not on yet. I'm trying to search for her in our chat real quick. Hold on, I'm looking to see if she's hopping on. Okay, we're just going to get started. All right, so tonight we are talking about booking. And the reason why we're going to be talking about booking tonight is because, as Kelly kind of mentioned last week, kind of the things we're going to be talking about in this Race to Start group is that for you to have, obviously, to be sponsoring or to be promoting or to be selling, you have to be booking. And I remember one of my favorite things that I ever heard Danielle Redner say at a training was that if there's anything you're lacking in your business, booking a trunk show is the answer. If you are lacking personal sales, go book a trunk show. If you're lacking stylists, like if sponsoring is your issue, go book a trunk show because that's where you're going to meet people. If you are, feeling frustrated with the lack of participation from the girls that are on your team, go book a trunk show. And so I love that is actually, I love that it's part of our business. I know a lot of people, whenever they sign up to do Stella and Dot or they think about doing something like Stella and Dot, they say, I don't want to go host a trunk show. I don't want to go out into somebody's home and I don't want to have an in-home party. And my response is, well, I'm so sad for you because that's actually one of my favorite parts of being a Stella and Dot stylist is being in front of people, around a group of people, but it's also why other direct sales companies or other people want to partner with us, because we have the model that brings a group of people together to shop. And I think that is the heart of the business. Like everyone else is basically relying purely on social media, or they're relying purely on repeat customers. But I love that we constantly have this funnel of new people coming into our customer base if we are out booking trunk shows. So I love that about trunk show booking. But I also know, having promoted and currently working on promotion, that if you don't have trunk shows booked, then it's really hard to grow your business and grow your team. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And you guys are all familiar with the 2242, right? Everybody? And because we kind of talked as leaders, like, do we need to go over the 2242? Because I kind of feel like if you're in this group and you're a part of this, group already, then you should be very familiar with what the 2242 is, which is you're reaching out to 2 people a day to book 2 trunk shows. And 2 outside orders a week, 4 trunk shows. So 2 phone calls, 2 outside orders, 4 trunk shows, which all that should lead to 4 trunk shows, and then hopefully sponsoring two new stylists. Right? So you guys tell me how, I know we started reaching out this week, and I kind of have a direction of what we're going to chat about tonight on on our call, but I wanted to know from you, give me some feedback from this week, the reaching out to 50. We gave you guys that challenge, and we are going to do the drawing, but tell me what your feedbacks were. I think we were leading with sponsoring. So talking about sponsoring, but hopefully those led into some booking conversations. So you guys tell me what you're feeling right now in your business as far as booking. How did it go this week? Because I kind of I have an idea of what we're going to talk about, but I want to make sure it's what you need to hear. So you guys tell me. Okay. You can unmute yourself if I muted you. Kim, I see your comment. I got you. Okay. Kristen, are you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I either got silence on the stylist part or thinking, but I did get shows out of it. So it was beneficial, in fact, of reaching out to all these people who were like, oh, I'd love to do a show. I don't know about, being a stylist, but at least that's something I can talk about at their show again. So.
Okay. So how did you feel about starting with offering the stylist opportunity first?
It was a little hard at first, but then I just kind of just went to a zone, and I just was like, you know what, this may come out of nowhere, but I just really think XYZ. And someone would say, you know what, thanks so much for thinking of me. This right now is not a great time, but maybe we'll do a show. So I'm like, I'll take it.
Worst case scenario, you booked how many trunk shows during this last week?
I got 4, I think, for August, and then I got September and October.
Which is crazy. So you're not losing either way, right? And was this something new, or had you done this before?
No, this was new. At least starting off talking about being a stylist. I mean, I've reached out to, a lot of people about shows, but...
Was anyone offended that you asked them to be a stylist?
I don't think so, or they just didn't respond. Maybe that was...
Yeah. I mean, did anyone cuss you out and tell you that they absolutely hate you because you asked them to be a stylist? Okay. Yeah. I'm just making sure. All right. Because I feel like sometimes in our mind, that's what we make it up to be, right? It can be as big of a deal as that. So, okay, I'm just making sure, just clarifying. Okay, who else? Kim, I see yours. So I'm going to get to yours. Kim said that people are saying that they are too busy and to try again later. When you're reaching out to book, Kim, you're saying for August, that's what they're saying. And then she says she's also struggling with people only thinking that shows are successful on the weekends. So,
I think for the first one, I think it's just the timing for kids going back to school. A lot of the people that I know are moms, and it's just crazy time for them. Some kids have started sports practice already, so they can't see past next week, never mind anything. So I'm finding it hard to get people booked in for August. And and they don't even want to talk about September because they're just like, let me get the kids to school and we'll talk again later. So it wasn't, I mean, some of them were like, no, I'm not really up for that right now. But most of them were like, hey, give me a few weeks to get organized and back in a routine and then give me a call. But the thing I'm having is, and maybe this is the way that I'm doing it, is like, I was surprised, I guess, that Kelly said Thursday are her trunk show nights and occasionally some Sundays, because I cannot seem to get people to do dates other than Friday or Saturdays, which is kind of a pain for me. Because
they're busy?
Well, or they just think their friends aren't going to come around and shop and have a drink and on any other night other than a Friday or Saturday.
Okay. So if you want to move your, like, I think that you run your business and you get to determine when your business is open and when it is not open. So I think it's totally okay to offer them, hey, I have this Tuesday and this Thursday open. I actually rarely book trunk shows on weekends. I'm typically booking them on Thursdays. I even have some on, I have a Tuesday morning one coming up the first week of school. So I actually don't, but what I might say to them is say, kind of the feel, felt, found is what I would go with in that situation. So if they're saying, I don't want to book on a, weekend because I feel like my friends aren't going to come, I would say, I totally understand how you feel. I have felt the same way, and I've actually kind of wondered that. What I have found is that sometimes people are really busy on the weekend, and you'll be surprised at how many people actually will show up. So if you and I can find a Thursday night that works for the two of us, what do you say we throw the invitation out there for a Thursday night? We keep our weekends free. We throw the invitation out for a Thursday night. Let's invite 40 plus people. And if the invites aren't super great and the RSVP isn't super great, people aren't saying that they're going to come, then we can reassess and we can move the trunk show if we want to. But I have a feeling that once we throw the invitation out there, you'll be surprised at how many people will actually be available. What do you think? Because what they're really saying is they're just scared that nobody's going to come at all. Because are these people booking a Saturday or a Sunday trunk show with you?
Well, I've got a problem with a lot of Saturdays and Sundays, so I'm still looking at my calendar. But like in July, there was only, out of all the Fridays and Saturdays in July, there was only one Friday I was in town. But weekends are nuts for me for lots of reasons. And so
I would just say, I totally understand. I understand your hesitation about that, but I actually feel like the same reasons I don't want to be working on the weekends are the same reasons people may not want to be coming to shop on the weekends. So let's throw a weekday night out there and let's just see what happens. I mean, we're 2 weeks out. We have time to change it if we need to.
Okay.
I'll do that. We're not creating a law here. We can be flexible with this, So I would let them know that. But I just think when they're giving you objections to booking, what they're really saying is, I'm scared. I'm scared no one's going to come. I'm scared nobody's going to shop. And so I feel like putting their mind at ease and just calling a spade and telling them, I understand your fear. I've been there before. I actually thought the same thing. And then addressing that concern is probably a good thing.
Yeah, because my hostess for Friday, she got really sick on Thursday and canceled last minute Friday. So she's booked again. So I've got her now Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m., which is fine. It's in a little, like a little cafe or something in downtown in the Heights. So we're kind of scrambling to get everybody and reassess doing all that. So
yeah. Okay, what else did you guys come across this week?
Thank you.
Yeah. Colleen, Kim, Chrissy. Chrissy.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I can hear you.
I had to unmute myself. So this week I started off saying like, oh, I think you'd be a great stylist. And then like in that same message, I was like, also, if that's not something you're into right now, like I have these dates open for trunk shows. And I got a lot of people that just blatantly just was like, no, thank you. Like, I'm not interested. No, thank you. Like, she's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I'm like, do you think it's better if we do like 2 separate messages versus just like piling everything on them at once and them just being like, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
I do think you need to split it up. I think your first reach out should be for the stylist opportunity, if that's what you're really aiming for, which if you want to hit STAR, which is the purpose of our group, then yeah, I think your first reach out should be STAR. I think this opportunity would be so great for you. These are the reasons why. And then let them respond to that. And then based on their response to that, then you can follow up with, okay, it's not good for you right now. Let's book a trunk show.
Okay.
And
so
I
I
think
did like an email and I didn't put any like host a trunk show or anything. And I got a lot of people, well, not a lot of people. I got a couple people that emailed me back. So anyone that emailed me back, I didn't text the next day with the same like thing. I just texted them like, hey, do you want to host a trunk show?
Yeah.
And so, but it's still like I didn't book anything because it was either, I just got a lot of excuses. I think with this whole back to school thing, everyone is just like overwhelmed and just can't focus on anything but that right now. And I mean, a lot of people, even like a lot of my friends who have babies or going back to work, or because I have a lot of teacher friends who don't even have kids, but they're still like going back to school. They're all just like freaking out over that. Do you suggest like, I don't even know the school schedule. So I'm like, when do kids even go back to school? So do you suggest like maybe just after school starting, maybe like a couple days in or like a week in and going back and asking them again, do you want to host a trunk show? Or would you ever think about this? Because I think like right now people are just too overwhelmed.
So
I just didn't know if anyone else found that out or had that same issue.
I see several people nodding their heads. I'm pretty sure that is exactly common of what's happening. School starts on the 22nd here. And I think it's probably around that date everywhere else. Some schools start this next week. Some private schools start this next week, but most schools start on the 22nd. So I think that's 100% common. I got the exact same excuses this week, and this is what I said. I totally get it. I've got 3 kids starting school this week. Hey, school starts on the 22nd. Why don't I call you the second week of school, not the first week, because I'm going to be busy too. Why don't I call you the second week of school, and let's pick a date for September. I'm going to call you that last week of August. I know it's still going to be August when I reach out to you, and I tell them this. I'm going to reach out to you in August, the last week of August, because my personal September gets crazy as well, and I want to make sure we can get you on the books. Does that sound good? And if and when they say yes, which almost all the time they're going to say, yeah, you can contact me then when I contact them, I'm going to say, hey, Sarah, you asked me to call you back. And, we talked a week and a half ago, and you asked me to call you back. So I'm just following up. And let's get you a date on September before it gets crazy. This is what I have in September. And Kim, this kind of addresses what you're thinking too. We gave you guys this challenge partly because we want you to walk through the practices of booking, but also because we want you to see that it's already the 14th of the month, right? Can you book in tight? 100%. You can have a fantastic messaging with some leaders that where some of their associate directors, and one of them booked a trunk show like 6 days ago and had like a $4,000 trunk show. So yes, you can book in tight, but it's also a lot more frustrating when people are telling you no. So you want to book early. You want to front load your month, right? So when you start reaching out now, it's okay that they're telling you no, because now you have an excuse to contact them in a week and a half, which is the end of August. Then you're front loading your September. Okay, you're offering them the first couple of days of September. They're already warmed up. You don't have to go into all these warm-up conversations. So it actually makes your job a whole lot easier. In the back of my mind, kind of on the 14th of the month, I'm thinking, oh, it would be awesome to get a trunk show booked. But what I'm really kind of asking for is a warm-up for my September. Does that make sense? So I don't ever take it as a bad thing when they say I'm busy right now. And I say, can I call you back? What about the second week or the last week in August? I'm going to contact you in August if we're going to book in September. Sound good? And they say yes, then I call them then. So then you don't have to mess around with all the riffraff of trying to warm them up and all that stuff. You're getting straight to booking. And that helps you front load your month. And so I'm glad that we had you guys do this exercise on the 14th of the month, because it warms everybody up, and it also shows you how important it is to front load your month. Chrissy, I know you're muted. Let me unmute you. because I want you to share. I could unmute you here. Oh, wait, you are unmuted. I want Chrissy to share what she did this week because she sponsored. She's in the car driving, so ignore the background noise and tell us what happened, Chrissy.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm driving back from Port Arthur, so that's fun. Anyway, so I really liked the challenge because it made me switch my focus to sponsoring, which my focus has been booking. And I think just that little fine tuning that, kind of what your goal was really helped me a lot because I had 2 shows this week and that was what was on my mind. Not necessarily booking a show. I mean, that was there too, but I was like, I need to get somebody from these shows to sign up because why wouldn't they want to? Like, this is the best business in the world and I love it. So at my show Wednesday, it was a small show, just a few people, but it was nice because we were just having conversations, drinking a little wine. The girls were flipping through the catalog, and I just kind of just started casually talking about the business, and how it works and what the hostess benefits were and how that was going. And then I talked about how I've been doing it for blah, 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 all that stuff. And I just said, and honestly, I said, I really offer this opportunity to everybody because I feel like I'm doing you a disservice if I don't tell you about this incredible business that I have on the side for my life.
I love it.
Talked about it like that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
And so, I said that at the trunk show on Wednesday, and this girl was like, well, tell me more about it, and, how does it work? What do you do? And so I kind of told her, like, what my normal week looked like and how it fit in with my other schedule and my kids, and she was like, well, how do I sign up? And I said, well, we can do it right now. So I started signing her up, and then that stupid password situation.
Yes, I know. It's so frustrating.
They have got to fix that. It's driving me crazy.
It's
like
annoying.
the top block of new stylists right there.
She's talking about when you place an order and they have a password, but they don't know what their password is. So then you have to figure out what their password is so that they can log in and use that email address to join.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so annoying. So anyway, I was really bummed out because she was like, well, my friend really wants to leave because she requested the reset. And of course it takes a few minutes to come through on email. So anyway, she requested that and I said, well, hey, did you get the email? She's like, yeah. And I said, well, let's do it real quick. And she said, well, my friend really wants to get home. She said, I can do it from home. And so I texted her later and followed up, didn't hear anything, sent her an email the next day, because then I didn't want to be like Stella Stalker.
Yeah.
And emailed her and just said, hey, and just kind of reiterated, like, I really think you'll be great at this because of blah, blah, blah. I love the team that I'm on and the flexibility of this business. You'll make a great addition to our team. And then Saturday night, she signed up. So
awesome.
I'm pretty excited.
That's really awesome. So Chrissy and I had chatted. She had messaged me and said, I think she posted on the Star page actually, and she said, I really want to focus on sponsoring. What are your tips at a trunk show? And my top tip was you have to share what it's meant to you and why you love doing this business. And I feel like you have to practice saying those things. And so I feel like you need to use, your best friend, use your husband, use your kids, or talk to yourself in the car when you're driving. But you need to practice.
The dog's
or your dog. Whoever will listen. But you need to practice what you're going to be saying. And I love that it wasn't just about picking up a phone and making a booking call, but Chrissy talked about it at her trunk show, and she sponsored just simply by telling people what your why is and why you love doing this business. And so I think that whatever, again, just like we said, whatever you're lacking in your business, you can make up for in a trunk show. But I also think when you have that audience that's already there shopping and all you do is style people, and which is fabulous because you're selling product. And that's what we're talking about. You need to be booking, you need to be selling, but you have a captivated audience. Why not throw in some of your reasons why you love Stella and Dot? And so I think taking advantage of that while you're at the trunk show too, giving yourself a challenge at trunk shows, and we'll talk next week about sponsoring, but I think that is a really great tip. So Liz joined us. Yay, Liz. And
okay, so I'm in California, and I swore you guys were only an hour ahead of me. And when I saw the message, I just got home from a trunk show and then dinner with my family, and yes, I feel awful. I'm so sorry. I pulled it up and I was like, oh no, 2 hour difference. I don't know where my brain was other than fried when in 110-degree heat trying to pedal Stella and Dot.
You're totally fine.
So,
okay. So the other thing that we were going to talk about, so we've kind of covered the 2242. We talked about what you guys thought worked and didn't work this week. But what I wanted to do, we only have about, about 7 or 8 more minutes left on the call. And so I wanted to just throw the idea out there, if we could maybe talk about some objections that you feel are the most common objections. Maybe Liz can tell you what she would say, or I can tell you what I would say, and we could talk about, and we're talking about booking. So what are the most common objections that you're hearing when you're booking that you don't know what to say to? You feel like whenever somebody says, XYZ, whatever, this is why I can't book. You don't know what to say. You freeze up. So tell us what that is, and let's see if we can help you with that. Anyone? You can unmute yourself.
So I have mine is actually, this is about sponsoring, sorry.
That
but
is good.
I get a lot of, I just don't have any sales experience. I can't do that. I can't, speak to people even though I know that they would be fantastic. And I try to use my own life as an example because I have 0 sales, and I had kind of those same maybe qualms of didn't think I could do this.
Yeah.
But what would you suggest would be maybe that would tip them over the edge of, I can do this, or whatever.
Liz, got anything?
Okay, so that I can't do this, is that what the question was? They said they just can't do it?
They just think that they cannot do it because they don't think that they could sell, even though it's not really what we do, but they just feel like since we're kind of selling.
So I would start off with sympathizing, just saying, first off, oh my gosh, I was totally there too. I'm the kind of person, I never even went to direct sell shows, but I went to my first show. I saw the product. I loved it. And the stuff sells itself. You don't have to sell anything. You share your passion for it. You set the pieces out. You show a couple of people how to put it on. And all of a sudden, the whole room is wearing the pieces and dying over the Freya. And then you've sold a dozen of them. The pieces sell itself. The pieces teach you how to sell it because you get passionate and you get excited about it. And I was totally the same way too. You would never imagine that I started off saying, I don't sell this stuff. I can't sell. I can't do any of this stuff. You would have never imagined that. And here I am, me personally, 3 years later, selling jewelry. This was never something that I thought I can do. And I tried it and I'm killing it. Yeah. So you're going to make up excuses, or you're going to say, oh, I can't do that. Well, how do you know? Try it. Let's try it. What do you got to lose? Yeah. Do a show. I'll help you with your first show. You'll make your money back if you decide, yeah, I was right. I totally can't sell this stuff. Oh, well, you've made your money back and you've got your great starter kit and all of these accessories. But if you surprised yourself, which 9 out of 10 times you probably surprised yourself, you're going to sell it and you're going to love it and you're going to keep doing it. You've got nothing to lose.
Kristen, is this a person that has come to one of your trunk shows before?
This was my hostess today, actually.
Okay. So I would say to her, my first question to her would be like, well, did you feel like I was a salesperson? Did you feel like I was selling to all your friends? Because I didn't really feel that way. And I mean, I would say to me, it's no different than, you know, the girl that commented on my Instagram page that she loved my, you know, my wedges that I wore over the weekend, and I respond and say, oh my gosh, they're, you know, with the, you know, Michael Kors sale from Nordstrom's, you totally should go get them. I don't see it's any different. I wear the product and I use the product and I love the product. And I've also told people this before with sponsoring. I have told them, I can't promise you you're going to be good at this. Like, I can't tell the future. I don't know if you're going to be good at this. I didn't know if I was going to be good at it, but I believed in myself enough to pay the $199 and give it a shot. I did not know. I can't promise you. My sponsor didn't know. We can't tell the future. You might be horrible at this, but guess what? You're going to have a whole lot of fun and we're going to do it together. So I feel like, you know, somebody that says, I don't want to be a salesperson, I don't want to be a salesperson either. That's what I say. I don't want to be in sales either. And I don't feel like I am. So
that's really what I said. And I basically was like, you just think about it and we'll talk about it, you know, later. So.
Yeah. Kim asked a question and she said that she got the objection for her husband. Like, I need to ask my husband first. And I get that. I've had several girls that were close to signing up and their husbands told them no. And so I understand. And I think that, you know, that can be really frustrating. But I do think Jessica Herring kind of, you know, I'm going to steal her words, but she said that in order to, you know, get your spouse on board, you really have to come up with a game plan. And you really kind of have to go to them and say, hey, you know, I have 3 people that have already said they're going to book trunk shows. I know I'm going to make my money back. You know, this is why you should believe in me, or this is my plan and this is how I'm going to do it. So I do kind of think it's about how they talk to their husband about it.
Okay.
So, yeah. Jessica Herring talks about that on her video, and she does it way better than I can on the Extraordinary page.
I tried to listen to the Wi-Fi was terrible where we were this week, so I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Okay. So I would listen to her. I'm not trying to brush off. I'm just saying she has a way better answer than I do.
No, that's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, she does address that. Okay, we have about 7, almost 8 more minutes. So anyone else have a objection, particularly for booking?
I do.
You want to discuss? Okay, Colleen.
Yeah, a few people this week, just in talking to them in person, and hope, like in my mind, they're on my list to book. I get a lot of, oh my gosh, stuff is so expensive. And then I tell them, you know, half the line's under $50 and, you know, I would love to help you earn stuff for free. But it's just like, almost when they say it's too expensive, it's like their eyes glaze over. And then in my head, I'm like, okay, well, maybe this just isn't her bag. Like, this isn't her thing. Yeah. So I don't know. Then I like I just get lost and I kind of just stumble around when they hear, oh, half the line's under $50. Well, they don't want the $24 pair of earrings. They want the like $118 necklace. So I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything else.
There is a lot you can say. Again, I hate that I'm brushing you off and saying that Jessica Herring addresses this exact one, but she totally does. Anyone else hear her address this objection on the Extraordinary page? Colleen, are you on the Extraordinary page?
Yes, I will take a look.
Oh my gosh, she addresses this so perfectly.
Okay.
I would listen to it over and over again and repeat it, but she does talk about it being half the line under, you know, $50. She talks about, you know, getting one of our engravable pieces, you know, that we can get the engravable ID tag for $39. And
oh yeah, that's true.
I had actually said something that she did not say is we're in Houston, obviously there's a lot of oil and gas. So I get that answer a lot. Like, and so what I told one of my hostesses, I said, what if I load up my display with all of our like most famous pieces that are under $50 and I really only try to highlight those? What if I don't put out a ton of really big necklaces? And what if I change my display a little bit? Now, we all know I'm going to be bringing my display. I'm going to be bringing my statement necklaces and stuff like that. But again, I think it's her own insecurities. But another thing Jessica Herring talks about is she says, just like you can't, said this to someone today, you can't assume that somebody is or is not going to be a good stylist. You can't assume that your friends are or not going to shop. You have no idea. Chances are they're buying jewelry anyways. And so And so I would tell her this, listen, don't you even worry about that. You get your friends there. I'll be the one to worry about whether or not they're shopping. Don't even worry about that. I think I'm going to help everybody find something they love in their price range. I work within a budget all of the time. My husband has me on one. I'm totally okay with that. And if you would like me to address that in my group hello, when I welcome everybody, I'd be more than happy to tell people, hey, everything on these, 5 trays is $30 and under. And everything on these 6 trays is, those are high numbers, 6 trays, no, whatever. But what I'm saying, these trays are 40 and under, these trays are 50 and under. So, if that's what the hostess wants to do, I think you should go for it.
Okay.
People are going to get there. And I would also tell her, we also have Trunk Show exclusives that are half off. Like, girl, don't even worry about that. I'm going to bring my stuff over. If that's your biggest concern, I got that. Like, I'm a professional. But Jessica Heron has a much better answer than me. Again, on the Extraordinary page, I would 100% go listen to that. Liz,
Okay.
anything to add? We have 4 minutes left, which is plenty of time.
Hey, I had a question.
Yes.
I was going to tell the girl that just went that I did.
Colleen.
Yes, Colleen. Hi.
Hi.
I did my first Facebook Live today in my VIP group, and I was so surprised that I did the Marcel collar, and that was like $39. I had a beautiful ring. I had the Gilded Path double wrap, which is like $54. And then I had a pair of earrings, and they all went together, and they were like my everyday thing, and they were all under $50 except for the wrap, because I had heard someone else like focus on the lower end, and I got some response from that, so that kind of helped. And then I was going to ask about Covet. I have in my calendar Stylist Covet and the 16th. What does that mean?
That's when the new line is the new Covet line is launching that we heard about on Hoopla.
Okay, when we do pre-orders, do they count towards this month or next month?
It would be September because customers can't order till September.
So we're just taking their, okay.
I think it's September 8th or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think something like that.
Yeah.
So
So everything would be September.
Correct.
That's all I have.
Okay, Liz, we have about 2.5 minutes left.
Well, I missed the first half of the stinking call.
I know. Sorry. And I think you have a challenge for them for this next week, right?
Well, did we do the 100 no's, and then talk about doing the other half of the no's?
Yes, we did the 50. So we done the 50, and Kelly's going to draw for that. We'll have her do that tomorrow.
Okay.
And so that's our next challenge. Is the next
The other 50 no's, to call your other 50 people that you haven't checked in with before. Go over your who do you know list. Go over maybe your top sellers from the last 6 months, and call your other 50 people.
Yeah. We're going to post about Frank. Will you post the Frank thing on the Star page, Liz? Because I didn't go over that tonight. You had that written down, but I love, love, love that. So Liz has an acronym that helps you. This is going to cut me off, but an acronym that's going to help you with new areas to reach out to. But print another one of those trackers. You're going to do your second 50, and we're going to do another giveaway, which will be posted on the Star page. And we're going to post the winner and then immediately post the next one. I actually did this earlier this week. I posted my second 50. I'm 35 of people the way through my second 50. I'm going to have a killer September, but I'm scraping in August, just like the rest of you guys. So any other questions? Okay, you guys.
I have one more.
Yes.
About I'm at the part where I'm calling my top customers that have spent a lot, and I don't know how to approach that with like being a stylist and having a party.
Your top customers that you're calling?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm calling to thank them, because I'm horrible at follow-up, so I'm finally just now calling to thank some of them.
So what I say to them is, and this is totally going to cut me off in a second, but I always tell them, like, I know how much you love Stella and Dot. Why don't we share some of it with your best friends and your family and neighbors? And let me bring the whole new fall collection, because they may not have shopped with you recently. Let me bring the fall collection over. Let's share your love of Stella and Dot with them if you want to book. But if you want to I think sponsoring them is so easy. That conversation goes, girl, you've already spent $700 with me. You could have signed up and gotten a killer starter kit, and you could be selling to your friends. I'm going to keep selling to them if you want me to, but they probably